Hey Deku fam!
Hey Deku fam!
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back!
So we're back with another video and we're carrying on with the One series.
Yep.
If you haven't checked out our previous two, we did Is There Such Thing As The One? We do think there's the one, but we don't think there's the one, so you need to check that one out. And then we spoke about being the one before you find the one.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about the red flags. Before you get into a relationship with the one. Because some of us miss the one because we choose snakes.
No, they choose crazy girls out there.
No, crazy men.
Who set them up.
Who, you know, do not.
They come in like,
have standards.
I'm a good wife, I will cook for you. But then they can't even cook.
You know, men who say they're going to lead and take, you know, the whatever, control, and then they just slack. Basically.
You know when the wife's food is dead out here, you get me?
You know when men say they're going to be the provider and they can't provide? Jake.
Anyways,
real red flags, not like the ones that we were talking about, but serious things that we can spot actually before we get into relationships.
Because craziness has breadcrumbs. You don't want to just wait and get to the whole loaf of bread and then you see that the person who's crazy. Identify the breadcrumbs.
Your analogy is a bit weird sometimes.
Why? I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs, you know? Find the breadcrumbs. Don't just go to the loaf. Because the loaf, how long is it going to take you to get to the loaf?
Yeah.
Okay, so identify the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Because we wait for the massive signs, like, oh, he cheated. Where was that coming from? But then he's had a wandering eye from the beginning of time. Do you know what I mean? So the breadcrumbs are the little things that we can spot before we get into relationships with people that can save us the heartache. Because for us, before each other, we were just like going with the flow, being dead fish.
She looks good. You know, let's go and see what's over there.
Oh yeah, he's 6 foot. Yeah. I'll have him. But no, that's not enough. Seriously, we need to look deeper and further than that. So we want to talk to you about the flag that we were looking out for before we found each other. And we're still here, we're married, so we...
1 year! But before we get into this, I want to say, just a disclaimer, because I know some crazy girls out there. Because we're going to talk about red flags, and I know there's some crazy girls. Go on, comment. Go on. Anyway, there's some crazy girls out there who will set obstacles. Don't set your man up, okay? Have a blank canvas for him to be able to show you who he really is. Stop looking at your past and talking about, oh, my ex used to do this, so you do this. The guy might be doing something that might remind you of your past, but that doesn't mean he's doing it with the same intentions and with the same heart. Give the man some slack, okay?
I'm always on this little rampage that
I've got to protect my men out there. You get me? Brotherhood.
But ladies, you know the deal. You know some men come here with roses and all that stuff, but look beyond that. Do you know what I mean? What's their heart saying?
Yes. So we're gonna get into this video. Why did I just do this?
I don't know. Sometimes I question.
No, that's not I just did it. Oh.
No, stop it.
I'm joking.
You're a masculine man. Do you understand?
We're gonna get into the video and we're gonna talk about a few red flags, and hopefully they'll be able to help you. They helped us when we were going into our relationship. Like Anna said, we used to go with the flow, and then now we just made sure we were intentional.
6 months of me screening this guy.
6 months of me scrutinizing.
No, you weren't.
Credit check.
No, you weren't.
Background check.
You were straight in there, my friend.
Where are you really from? You know those girls that lie about their identity. Anyway.
Flag number 1.
What is their character saying? Look out for the bad traits in their character. But I would say, don't just wait for them to do it's not on the first time. Look for patterns within their character. Like, are they lying? Are they rude? Are they prideful? Those are the things that you want to look at to see who they really are. Because sometimes you can just ask someone a simple question like, where are you going today? And they can lie. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Why can't you just be honest? Like, I don't like this whole mystery thing. Some girls are just moving around like Casper. You're not a ghost. Where are you really going?
Are you alright? Are you like...
I'm just saying. Yeah. But you were honest.
Thanks,
I liked it. You had integrity. You were beautiful. I loved everything about you.
I think it's just very important to assess someone's character over time, because the one thing that I look back on in terms of relationships with my exes is that I let them get in there really quickly, and I didn't take time to actually assess their character and see how they are over a long period of time. So they were giving me attention maybe for a week, And for me, I was like, oh, they just like me so much because I'm really overwhelmed with them giving me attention. By week 2, mate, they only contacted me at 11 p.m. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important to see what someone's character is like over time. The red flags are negative character attributes that shouldn't be there, that are appearing consistently, that you're trying to push behind and say, oh no, it doesn't really matter. But they do matter.
And if the person is not right for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
But what you're also looking for is consistency within their character.
Yeah.
So how do they treat their friends, their family, their colleagues? The most important one is people who don't actually owe them anything. How do they treat the waitress that that serves them their food and brings the wrong order? Are they all up in the person's face? Like, these are the things that you want to be looking out for. Consistency.
Yeah. Consistency in character is so important, which is why we always encourage you to spend time in group surroundings and observe the person from a distance, and not always, it doesn't need to always be just one-to-one, because you're only seeing one aspect of how they act in a particular type of scenario. You want to see them in different types of scenarios. Flag number 2.
You're confused where you stand in a relationship. Because sometimes I get really confused. Like, you can see a guy and a girl, and then they look like they're having a good time, and you ask them, are you going out? And then there's like, I don't know. How can you not know? That is mad. Like, guys, if you're interested in a girl, just stand up and ask her, like, I'm feeling you, I want to take this to the next stage. And ladies, don't just be wait, just be passive. Like, the thing I loved about Annabella, she asked me questions. She asked me, what is this? Where are we going? And as a man, that challenged me to just have a bit more direction.
I think that's definitely a red flag. Like, if you don't know where you stand in the relationship with a person, like, you like each other, but there's been no sort of conversation about where this is going, that's definitely a red flag. That why is the person not being intentional enough to actually tell you this is where we are and this is what we are? That gives red flags that, oh, do they have someone on the outside? Are they not sure about me? And you're investing into this relationship, into this, whatever you want to call it, when there's no title to it, there's no establishment of this is actually a partnership that is going somewhere. And
even though Annabella and I did not start dating immediately, we established that we really liked each other, and we just needed time to get to know each other. And that's how we just communicated. I'm exclusive to you, you're exclusive to me, but we're going to just try and get to know each other without having other people talking to our relationship. Because what we didn't want was to have outside voices, because sometimes it can go to your head, oh, you two look good together, oh, we didn't want any of that. So we were exclusive to each other, just getting to know each other without having the outside voices, and it really helped us so we can have a bit more clarity in terms of relationship. It's
important for the two of you, the person who's pursuing and the person who's being pursued, to communicate with each other and just know where things are at. Yeah, everyone on the outside might not know, that's perfectly fine, but you two should know exactly where things are at. And I think if that clarity is not there, then that's definitely a red flag for the relationship. Maybe not enough questions have been asked, maybe no one wants to commit, and that's not the kind of relationships that we're trying to have. Like, we start with intentionality and we end with intentionality, so everything in between needs to be intentional. And I think that if that's not there, then that's definitely a red flag.
Because how long are you going to be in a situation and then you're getting stringed along only to find out that you were never in a relationship? But then you've built up all this emotion, you've built up all this kind of, I don't know, love in your heart even, to only be like dropped.
And the third red flag for a relationship is
they don't accept you for who you are and they're trying to change you.
That one's a big one,
Because the worst thing is being in a relationship, or being in, even in a relationship, you're just getting to know someone and then they're already trying to change you. You need to be someone who's content with who you are and you're able to be your true self, rather than them saying, oh, I don't like this about you, I don't. Well, go and find bitch down the road then. Like, why do you want me for?
The thing is, we need to really be comfortable with our imperfections. Not comfortable that we don't want them to change, but comfortable with the fact that this is who I am right now.
At this point in
time,
are
you willing to accept me for who I am right now? Yeah, I'm an emotional mess, but are you willing to take me as I am? Because sometimes we can step into being with someone or being pursued by someone, and then we put on this facade, oh, everything's okay, oh no, I don't have any problems, oh no, I'm gonna be this girl because I'm so thankful that you like me. Like, that is not what we're about.
The best thing to do? Just
put everything on the table.
Just put your laundry on the table.
Everything, mate. I was like, this is me. This is what I've been through. This is who I am. Blah blah.
These are my insecurities.
Are you here or you're not?
This is what I'm scared of. And literally, like Anna said, are you here or Are
you staying or you're going? Because this is who I am at the end of the day. And I know it's difficult to trust people, and I know this takes a little bit of time. Like for us, it was in the midst of our friendship. Like as you get to know someone as friends, you want to tell them who you are. So you start talking to them and putting your laundry out there.
Yeah.
And if they can't handle that, then it's like, okay, right, then when you're not the right person for me, because yes, I'm on a journey of development, but this is who I am right now, and I want to be able to be my full self in a relationship. So if I can't do that with you, then bye, Felicia.
Bye. But the amazing thing about putting your laundry out there and really being open with your potential partner, because if they choose to accept you, that breeds a real strong intimacy between the two of you. And that's when the spark and the connection really comes in. It's really being your true self. Like, imagine like waking up and thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna go and see this person. Oh, do I look right? Or are they gonna accept me in this? Oh, I've got to pretend that. Like, it's so much hard work to the point where you can't be vulnerable, so therefore you can't be intimate with the person. So it's all about coming with your true self and just allowing the person to accept you for who you are. And being so comfortable, again, everything comes back to comfortability, but being so comfortable with yourself to the point where if he doesn't accept this, or if she doesn't accept this, then it's okay for the relationship to end.
So, red flag number 4.
Do they value married, or do they even want to get married in life? Because the thing is, when Anna and I started talking, we wasn't necessarily talking about marrying each other. We were talking about just marriage in general. Like, it just came up in conversation, and we were talking about like the kind of wedding we would want to have, the kind of where we would want to live, and the how we even view marriage and stuff. Like, marriage was definitely on the cards for us. And then so for us, the fact that we valued marriage, knew that for us it meant that we were taking our relationship, we want to take our relationship a bit more seriously. So we wasn't in the process of just dating for the sake of dating. Our approach was, the person that we date, we have intention to get married. However, if the situation didn't work, then we could say bye. It didn't work. But we're going in from the perspective of like, we're going to get married.
And really, a lot of people get in relationships and they might know that the person doesn't want marriage, but they think, oh, I can change them. You know, they might change their mind. But whose fault is it for getting into that relationship if 5 years down the line they still don't want to get married? Is it your fault for getting into the relationship, or is it their fault for being who they said they were?
That actually may be your fault for the fact that you went in with oh, you don't want to get married, but maybe you may change down the line. They told you who they were.
Marriage is a conversation that really should start early on in the relationship. Like, you don't have to wait and be like, oh, but he's gonna think I'm very needy, or I'm thinking about things too soon. If that's not on their mindset, then are they really someone that's for you? Like, they need to be thinking about these things, because we don't just, as Christians, we don't just date for dating's sake. We date with the intention to marry. So if someone's not on that same page as you, then it's better that you just red flag them
because if you think about it, what they're really saying is, okay, I don't want to get married. I want us to have sex. I want us to have children. I want us to live a life that doesn't basically honor God. And it's like, that is like really confusing. And why would you put yourself in a situation where you're not going to honor God with your whole self and you're married? Like,
and Gabes and I are people that always think like long term. We always tell you this. We think about the long term. Yeah, right now it's, it doesn't seem that bad because I'm not really thinking about marriage right now. But like years down the line, it's going to be so much harder for you to leave a relationship when you've already given that person your heart, when you started opening up to them and all this stuff. It's just really important to start with the end in mind. And that's why we say you need to be thinking about marriage in your singlehood, so that when you're speaking to people, you're looking at them from the eyes of, can I potentially marry this person? Are they looking to get married? Do their values line up with mine? And so forth.
So really, our advice would always be, if you're not ready for marriage, don't get in a relationship.
And the fifth and final red flag, the most important red flag, you know how we do. Yes. Take it away, baby.
Do they compromise your relationship with Jesus? Because if you think about it, Jesus is the most important being in this universe. And we always talk about the fact that we're two imperfect beings. Like, really,
our relationship would not survive if God was not in it.
Because like, our differences actually
peak.
Literally. But because we're we're bound together by Christ, and God's, like, I believe that God's literally weaving us together, and we're able to pray for situation. We have a kind of a benchmark to look at. We can look at our character flaws through the word and all that amazing stuff. Like, we really believe that God is the reason why we're still together. So Father, right now we thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
So and also like life is difficult. Life is very difficult, and it's amazing having someone who's able to pray and pray with. You know where it says like 2 or more gathered, God is right there in the midst of them. Like it's amazing to be able to pray by yourself, but it's amazing to be able to pray with your partner and to seek God together and to serve God together.
And the Bible talks about like how can 2 walk together if they don't agree? Like I don't think we understand the depth of that. Like when you're in a relationship, you're walking together, literally, to remain in oneness. You're walking together through the trials, through the ups, through the downs, and we agree that God is God that is guiding us through. We agree that like when we go through trials, that is God that's going to get us through. We agree that any blessing that comes is from God. But if you're not both agreeing, then how are you going to stay on the same page, and how is your relationship actually going to become better, and how are you going to draw closer to each other if you're not agreeing that God is the cornerstone? So for us, like, it's been such a crucial element of our relationship, and it's the most important thing. And we realize that a lot of people are like, oh, he's an amazing guy, but he doesn't love Jesus. And
they always ask the question,
can I compromise?
Can I compromise? Can I go in a relationship? And the answer to that question is, of course you can. You can. But the thing is, why would you want to? Why would you want to compromise your relationship with Jesus? Is this person that you're pursuing, is this person who you're allowing to pursue you, worth you compromising your relationship with Jesus? Because
it looks good in the short term, like, you know, you're all lovey-dovey and, you know, oh, I love him, he's so sweet and whatever. But through the tough times, when you're arguing with each other, like, who's your partner going to? Like, in terms of trying to get their strength back, trying to be humbled, like, who's speaking to them? At the end of the day, if it's not God, then So really, like, we need to look at things from like a bigger picture standpoint. Like, think about when you go through the tough times, think about your children, and when you're trying to get them to church and your husband is like, no, we don't want to go to church today. You know, there's bigger consequences and bigger things that are going to be impacted through you not being with someone who's also a believer. So you can't compromise on your relationship with God. I know the temptation comes sometimes when we like desire marriage so much, but we should really desire to please God more than we desire marriage. So don't compromise on that, because that is a serious red flag. And for us, even though when we first started talking to each other, we were at different places with God completely. But when Gabe started catching a revelation for who God actually is, like,
without the pressure
at all, anything, because I wasn't willing to compromise, and he found God himself. But like, his direction, I think, is so important, someone's direction, because I think as girls we can be spiritual snobs sometimes. We can be like, he needs to be like this, he needs to be this, he needs to be, you know, praying over my life and blah blah. But not every guy is at that place, and you know, you really do need to look at the heart. And I think that Gabe's direction was so much more important than him leading me spiritually at the beginning, if that makes sense. Like, his hunger for God was so real and so raw, and something that I'd never seen in any other guy that had ever pursued me or I'd ever even spoken to before. So it's not important like how many scriptures they can quote, but I think it's about how hungry are they for God.
And it's also more important when sometimes you can know all the scripture in the world, but really, are you living it out? And I think that's the most important thing. Are they living out the scripture? Like, at that point in time, I was probably new to the faith, but I was literally trying to be a gullible Christian. I would literally read and try and apply it, and then try and look at the areas of my life where the scripture kind of challenged those areas, and I would actually physically try and change them. And I was just throwing things away, literally, because I wanted just to pursue God. And honestly speaking, it wasn't for Annabella, and I'm just thankful that she didn't apply pressure to me, because if she applied the pressure to me, I probably still wouldn't be in the faith. Because sometimes, you know, like when everyone comes into Christ, they have this amazing like experience and Jesus is all new to them, but it's amazing for them to be able to walk it out themselves. So you just need to determine, are you willing to you know, go in a relationship with them? And they may not progress as fast as they want to. I think, luckily for Annabella, I actually made a decision to literally go all out, but not everyone goes through the same journey. So sometimes they can look at our example and say, oh, Gabe did it, so my guy might do it too, or my girl might do it too, but it's not always the case. You've got to assess the person's character and see whether their faith is actually genuine and whether you want to continue pursuing the relationship. Yeah,
definitely. There's more on that story about how we got together. If you want to hear more about that, that's probably another video, so let us know. This video was really to talk about the 5 key red flags before you get into a relationship that we can actually spot before we get into a relationship. And it's just really important that we actually look at things with like deeper than the surface and really try to understand people before we get into a relationship with them. There's so many people that we could have avoided getting into relationships with, but because we're not looking at things with the right eyes or with enough time or in context, that we actually start making the wrong decisions. So it's really important that we look beyond the surface and ask ourselves the question, why are they the way that they are? And are we willing to accept that if they stayed the way that they are, we would be okay?
Yeah. Good summary, babe.
You understand that video and hope
you get tired of this video?
Yeah, so tired. Hope it makes sense to you and hope it helps you guys. Let us know what else you'd like to see.
Yeah,
because this
we're thinking of a next series. What series should we do next?
Yeah.
Help us out, guys.
Help us out.
Peace.